Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Kof, and on today's video I'm going to show you guys how I built King Kai's planet in Blender. We're going to start things from the beginning. Back when I was a kid, I was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was one of the most legendary animes ever. From its iconic power-up scenes, it had some of the most destructive fighting scenes as well. And last but not least, the beautiful landscapes. Which leads us to our video. I'm going to model King Kai's planet in Blender. No more talking, let's dive right into it. To start things off, I added a basic UV sphere to be the base of my planet, and then I'm going to rotate it on its x-axis 90 degrees. Next, I'm going to select the faces in the middle of my sphere, and I'm going to duplicate and extrude that to give my planet's road. After modeling the road, we're going to move to King Kai's house. I added another UV sphere, rotating that and splitting it in half. After I get the house where I want it, I'm going to select some of the faces and delete to get my door. Now I'm going to add some more details to the building. I'm going to keep everything simple and low poly. King Kai's planet has a distinctive and cartoonish look with a small circular terrain surrounded by a vast void of space. King Kai's planet is special in Dragon Ball Z because it's a place where key moments of training and character growth occur. It serves as the primary training location for several key characters, most notably Goku and later Gohan. The planet has its own unique gravity, 10 times stronger than Earth's, which makes training more incredibly challenging and effective for increasing the strength and combat abilities. We also can't forget about King Kai himself. He's known for his quirky, fun-loving personality.
Absolutely, sir. Goku won't hear one word about it. That's my no-word guarantee.
Hey, what are you saying about me?
But despite his goofy nature, King Kai is a wise and skilled martial artist. He plays a crucial role in Goku's training, teaching him the powerful techniques such as the Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb. Overall, King Kai's planet is pretty iconic, which is to why I wanted to pay my homage in Blender. King Kai's planet contains a lot of fun proportion and perspective tricks, for example the tiny house and the small objects in the environment. I knew recreating these unique proportions would be interesting and a challenge for 3D artists like myself to balance realism and cartoonish exaggeration. So if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan like me, be sure to like this video. Also comment if you would like to see me model King Kai in the future. Now back to the modeling. After modeling the structures in the buildings, we're going to move to the next step. That's going to be modeling the terrain. We're going to begin by modeling the trees. Being fairly new in Blender, I didn't have too much experience modeling trees, so I decided to go to YouTube for reference. I found the perfect tutorial by Simone 3D for the cartoonish look I was going for in my project. And if you guys want to check this tutorial out for yourself, the link will be in the description. This video was very easy to follow. It gave us a clear path on how to use geometry nodes to get the cartoonish trees we were going for. Now we're just going to add some variation to each brush to give it some originality. Now we're going to move on to the tree stems. I used a single vertex from a plane object and just extruded it. I'm going to add a scaling modifier to better define the shape. Then I'm going to mess with the vertexes to make the trees look a little bit more organic. Now I'm going to add each tree stem to a tree brush. Now I'm going to just scale and rotate those so each tree can look different. And as you can see in the video, everything is coming together real nice. After modeling my trees, I'm just going to disperse them around the planet. I just duplicated each one by one, rotated and scaled it so each one can look different. But I believe there's a faster process for this. So if you have any recommendations, be sure to leave a comment. Also, one thing I want to point out, you can't see it in the video, but I'm using a reference. That was one of the biggest game changers that I found in this project. I used Canva to create my reference sheet, so be sure to use references. Now we're going to move on to the next following steps. We're going to move on to building our world and our background to our scene. I began this process with the clouds. I went back to YouTube for another tutorial by Lightning Boy Studio. This tutorial walks us through how to make Studio Ghibli like clouds in Blender. I highly recommend this tutorial. It was very easy to follow as well, and it was very informative, teaching us how to create our own normal maps. And you guys already know, if you would like to check this tutorial out for yourself, the link will be in the description. Moving forward after the clouds, we're going to add some color to our background. I found a nice reference off of Pinterest to color match. To make life easier in this process, I just color pick from the reference. Now I'm gonna just duplicate my clouds to make a big cloud in the scene. While modeling my giant cloud, I decided to view it through my camera viewport. And I'm gonna continue to stay in my viewport, and I'm gonna add a gradient to the background to match up the reference sheet a little better. After finishing that up, I'm going to start by adding in some textures. I imported multiple textures all from Polyhaven, so if you're a 3D artist on a budget like me, be sure to check them out. Most of the textures are free. Now enjoy the rest of the time lapse of me texturing this scene. Now we're going to move on to adding the grass to the planet. To make the grass, I just created my own material, then I colored it in the shader editor. Then I'm going to add some light to my scene to add some more depth to the planet. I'm going to start off with the area light that I just made a larger size on top of my planet. Then I'm going to add a noise texture to my material to add some color range to my planet. Then I'm going to add a color ramp to add different variations of green. And I'm very pleased with how this came out. And be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to comment who's your favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. Mine is Vegeta. Moving forward, I'm going to add a blue spotlight under my planet. I wanted to make the scene look more cinematic. Now I'm going to go around my scene and add some wood texture to all of my tree stems. Now I'm going to add stars into my scene. I wanted to go with stars to add some more depth to the background. I accomplished getting the stars by just adding a noise texture to the world. Now I'm going to add some finishing touches to my lights, and then we're going to move on to modeling the car. This was the toughest part of the project for me. I had little to no experience modeling cars, so I decided to keep it low poly. Before we move on, I just wanted to ask one quick question. Why does King Kai even need a car? Like, where could he possibly go? Now after I finish modeling the car, I'm going to pull in another reference photo to make sure the colors match the car. Then I'm going to just adjust the materials, and then that's going to be it for modeling the car. Now we're going to move on to the conclusion of animating our scene. I'm going to add a camera move to make the animation more dynamic. Then moving on, I'm gonna grab all the objects on my planet and then I'm gonna rotate it on the y-axis 360 degrees to make it look like it's orbiting. Now I'm gonna add multiple cameras to the scene just to get different views from different angles. I found a good Blender camera follow path tutorial on YouTube by What Make Art. I followed this tutorial and I'm pretty happy with the final product. I also did some experimenting with my animation. Now I'm gonna just add my final touches to the animation. After we finish all the final touches to our animation, we're going to go to our compositing and add the effects to the final render. And that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Before I show you guys the finished product, be sure to leave a like. Let's get this video to 1K likes. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoy it. And that's gonna be it for this YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun filming this content for you guys. Also, feel free to leave some feedback in the comments. Let me know where I can improve at as well. And that's gonna be it. Until next time.